Hey everybody, I'm Jeff Schneider. Today is Tuesday, July 25th, and that was your loop of the day. I'm going to show you how to play it. I'm going to explain the chords, explain some of the theory behind it. So let's get started. So we're starting off in the key of C, but we're starting on the 4 chord, which is F major. And we have a pretty basic voicing here. We have 1, 5, 7, 3, and the melody is going to go like this. So it's A, G, E, D. And then for the E and the D, we're going to switch chords. We're going to have E minor 7, or rather just E minor, and then D minor. So there it is, F major 7. So that's F over G, followed by C major 7. That's the first part. Then it kind of repeats, a little bit different the second time. So that's the answer phrase. You can kind of hear how the first phrase sort of sets it up, and the second phrase is the punchline, because the first phrase ends like this. Right? That's sort of the open-ended question, and then we have the answer. That's a really important compositional technique that I think everybody should be using to create some balance between phrase A and phrase B, or your question or your answer or your call and response. You've heard about these terms before, especially in improvisation. Well, this is how you do it in composition. You can use the same technique in improvisation. Real quick, the way this works is the first phrase ends on a note other than the key center or the root of the chord, or the first note of the scale, right? The first phrase ended on E, which is the third. It's not quite as resolved as ending on the 1, which is what happens in the second phrase. All right, let's continue. I'll do a review of where we're at. Okay, so that's the first A section. We're going to repeat that now. There's a couple of variations thrown in, so let's see what those are. So the only real variation is in getting to the 4 chord, we're going to use an F sharp 7. F sharp 7 is the tritone substitution. It's the tritone substitution of C7, because we're going to F7. C7 is the secondary dominant. C7 resolves to F7 like that. Instead of doing that, we're doing F sharp to F rather than C to F. So in context, it sounds like this. I can't play the whole voicing there, but essentially this is what my left hand would be playing. And then we resolve down to the 4 chord, which is F. Okay, so then we go to the bridge, which is B 13 flat 9, followed by a B flat major 7, or like that. So we're getting to the B flat major 7 the same way we got to that F major 7 before with the tritone substitution. You see we're coming from it a half step above, B going down to B flat. That is tritone substitution. Instead of doing this, which would be F7 followed by B flat major 7, a 5-to-1 motion, we're doing this flat 2-to-1. Half step above, then we land on the B flat chord. And from there we're going to go to A minor 7, so we're going to go down a half step, and then we're going to jump up to E flat major 7 to D7. So before we talk about why those chords work, let's go a little bit further so we can get some more context, and that's going to help everything come together, and we'll be able to understand it better that way. So again, we have Okay, so the D major is a little bit funky there. We're going to talk about that in a second. But essentially what's happening here is we've modulated to the key of F major. So that's our tritone substitution going to B flat major 7. Now, B flat major 7 is the 4 chord in the key of F. So again, we're in the key of F major now. We've changed keys. There's not really a drastic key change here, but that's what's happening, and you'll see it more and more as we go on here. So it's a 4 chord, 3 chord. Then this is a flat 6. This is the D7. This is sort of the 5 of 2, the 6 dominant chord, and here comes the 2 chord. 2, 5, 1. Now you'd think it would go to D minor. Now this is why I said it gets funky, because we're actually going to D major 7. It's a deceptive cadence in a way. I really like this technique where you, instead of going to the 6th chord, remember we're in the key of F major, and D minor would be the 6th chord, but we're going to 6 major. We're going to D major 7 there. So it's like a little bit of a head fake. So, and then, so now we're in D major. We've modulated to D major, and we're doing our little trick again where we're doing that tritone substitution going to the 4 chord. In this case, the 4 chord is G major 7. So we have a very similar technique here that's being used again and again, and that is going to the 4 chord via a tritone sub, which is a half step above the chord you're going to. So we're doing it going to the B flat major at the beginning of the bridge. This is B13, flat 9, going to B flat major 7, A minor 7, to E flat major 7, and then, oh, by the way, this is actually kind of interesting. The E flat major 7 is sort of a substitute for A7, because remember, we're going to D7, and whenever you have this half-step motion here, it's kind of an indication that there's some tritone substitution going on. So even though it's not a dominant 7th chord, the E flat major 7 still acts as a little bit of a tritone sub. 2 chord, G minor 7. You can throw a quick F major in there. This is E half diminished, A7 flat 9. There's D major 7. This is A flat 13 flat 9. There's G major 7, and then here's where we kind of link back to the beginning. So this motion right here is an echo of the A section, but we're just doing it up a whole step, I believe. So by the way, that's F sharp minor going to E minor, and then we're going to go back to the A section. Do you hear that linkage there? So again, it's the same thing up a whole step. Tritone sub. And a bit of a tag at the end. One more time. And that's the whole tune. A lot of repetitive techniques, but they're used in different ways, so it does sound varied, and it sounds interesting all the way through, but there is that commonality. There's that linkage that brings everything together. It ties the whole thing together, and especially at the end of the bridge with that melody, which is a whole step up from what the A section does, that's what really helps get us from the bridge back to the A section. So I know I talked fast in this one, but there's a lot of stuff going on, so I wanted to fit it all in. But I hope you guys found it interesting. I hope you are able to play this one because it's a lot of fun. And that's about it. So that's the loop of the day, and I'll see you tomorrow in the next one. Thanks for watching.